Okay. Are you ready?
I guess.
As ready as she'll ever be.
Kind of putting you on the spot. I think I'll sit up here so I'm a little bit closer to you. You can stay right there. That's perfect. Here we go. Okay, I wondered if you could tell us about your mom and starting up in Minnesota, just what family life was like up there and what your mom did up there.
Well, as far as I know, Mom was always just a homemaker. You know, she never worked outside the home.
And how many kids were up there?
Well, 6,
Okay.
and I was next to the youngest.
Okay. And what made her, well, how did she come to know about the colony?
I think it's because she usually subscribed to a Finnish newspaper, and there was one Finnish man at the colony. He was the only Finn there, and he must have written something about it in a Finnish newspaper because she got in touch with him and actually kept in touch with him for about a year. And I think it was after that that she decided that we should move down there because she said the Finns were always interested in cooperatives, and this interested her. And after talking or corresponding with Mr. Peterson for a year or more, she decided that's what we'd do. We
Okay.
lived in northern Minnesota. The colony was in Louisiana, but she decided that's what we'd do.
Do you remember his first name, Mr. Peterson?
Oh, no, I don't.
Okay.
We always just called him Mr. Peterson.
Okay. What did he do at the colony?
He had a room at the hotel, and he would be the one who would get up early in the morning, get the fires going in the kitchen ranges. They had huge ranges, 2 of them. He'd get all the large cereal kettles was filled with water for ready, heating up to make cereal. So he put in, I think he said he got up around 4 o'clock in the morning to do that. They served breakfast at 6.
How long after your dad died was it that you guys moved
It
down
was
south?
a little over 2 years.
Okay. And what did you guys have any kind of income then when you were up in
I think
Minnesota?
my mother had my dad's insurance
Okay.
because she didn't go to work or anything. She stayed at home with us. So, let's see. It may have been, did I say 1 year?
2.
2, yeah, that's it. I was 7 when he died.
Okay. Okay.
So I think that's how she took care of it. She had insurance. He worked as a miner. There were, that Mesabi Range was rich in iron ore, and there were quite a few small mining towns. And I'd say that Kinney probably had a good many men working in the iron ore mines.
Okay. And then when you guys went down there, refresh my memory again on what your mom did at the colony.
After we went there, women had a choice. They could pick out what they wanted to do. And she started working at the hotel, not the breakfast shift, but the dinner shift. They had dinner at noon there. So they had to start maybe around 7 o'clock to start getting the meal ready.
Okay. And then did they have a supper then after dinner too?
The evening meal was called supper, or it was served, I think, at 5. When everyone got off work, they'd just come up to the hotel and have their supper. That was it. But they served breakfast at 6, from 6 to 7, dinner at 12 to 1, and supper from 5 to 6.
Okay. And what kinds of services did the colony provide that would have made it, I guess, would have helped out a single mom with 6 kids?
Oh, well, we lived rent-free, free meals.
And somebody else made the meals. Essentially, you would just go to the hotel.
Yeah,
for your meals.
everyone just went to the hotel and ate. I still made some girlfriends, and we'd all sit at the same table. These were round tables that seated maybe 5 or 6 people.
And laundry?
Free laundry, came back, washed and ironed,
Was that
sheets and everything.
was that like once a week they would
Once
do
a
it?
week, yeah. Mom would take down Monday morning, and Saturday afternoon you could pick it up.
Is there anything that you had to shop for, or were there shops there? How did that work?
Nothing at the colony.
Yeah.
There was a small store, say, if you wanted to get something that you might need for cooking, maybe some flour or sugar or something like that. And us kids would go there for ice cream cones, which we had to pay for, but they were a nickel, so didn't break us.
And schools were half days.
Yes, the grades from 4 through 6 went in the morning, and from, let's see, no, it must have been higher than that. Grades maybe 4 through 7 went in the morning, and the higher grades went in the afternoon.
And then after that, you were assigned duties.
Not when we were, well, I couldn't call them duties. It was kind of make work for us kids. But we always had supervision. I went to school in the morning, and so I was free in the afternoon, but you were never just allowed to run around. We always had supervision. And she'd come up with jobs, like we'd go and rake someone's yard and clean it up or do things like that. But it wasn't anything, physical.
But that was not, I guess, something your mom had to worry about then.
Oh,
in terms
no,
of,
no.
yeah.
Now, Jan, being only 6 when we went there, he was in the 1st grade, and the grades 1 through 3 went out to the kid colony. This was within walking distance for older kids, but they took the little ones. I think they had a large car or something, took them out. So the little tots were at the kid colony all day. They always had a woman there to supervise. They had a family that lived there, and they cooked meals for the kids, the little ones. And then for the school kids too, grades 1 through 3, who went to school out there. But the kid colony was really a nice place. It was a lovely building, a big sort of a colonial building, 2 stories with porches on each level. And they had a large, like a dining and playroom. On the first level, it was just one large room with 2 fireplaces, and because the first through third graders ate their meals there, they ate lunch there.
And in terms of health care, for if somebody got sick or needed some kind of medical attention?
Well, if you got sick, you could, call a doctor from Leesville, but they did have an osteopath there, and he was the one who set my arm and then wrapped the wrong arm.
Yeah,
it was hard to make him tell him that it was the wrong arm because he was very hard of hearing. If you were walking by his home and there was someone in there with him, you could hear everything he said and be outside walking by his house. He was very deaf. I don't know how I actually got him to notice. He was almost through wrapping my arm. And somehow I got him to notice. I could point to this arm, but he couldn't hear what I was saying.
Okay. Huh. Do you remember anybody having babies there at the colony?
Yeah, there were women who would have babies, but they had the Leesville doctor it was usually a home delivery. They did have this building they called a hospital too, where they could go there. They didn't have a doctor there, but they had a male registered nurse, and he ran the hospital. But they could have the Leesville doctor come down and deliver the baby. I don't think they ever went to a hospital in Leesville to do that.
I'm just wondering if the mom would have had, duties like working in the hotel or something, and now she had a baby. I wondered how that would work out.
She stayed home.
They'd just stay home.
She could stay home as long as she felt she wanted to stay with the baby. Usually until the youngster was old enough to go to the kid colony, which I would say was probably between 3 and 4 years. She could do, send the youngster out earlier if she wanted. The baby would get good care out there no matter what age it was. But most of them wanted to stay home with the baby, for a couple of years at least.
Sounds like a pretty good deal for a mom.
It was, because she didn't have to cook, she didn't have to do laundry, or she had to do the baby's laundry. But it was, I don't ever recall hearing anyone complain about it.
Anything else you can remember about, I guess, how it would, how the colony would have benefited a mom, a single mom, or a married mom for that matter?
About having a single mom?
Well, I'm just wondering if there were any other benefits that the colony would have offered. It sounds like they had it pretty well covered.
Yeah, for youngsters, you went to school, although we only went half a day.
Yeah.
Somehow, we went to Leesville High School and weren't, any farther behind than any of the kids in our class.
Okay.
I can't think of any distraction or anything that a new mother would have.